Hi, this is the Zipper Lady, and I just wanted to give you an idea of different types and sizes of zipper. Predominantly these are used for outdoor, but they could be easily used indoor also. The great thing about all the zippers I'm going to show you today are they are inherently UV protected. The tape is polyester and the teeth are either nylon or resin, like this guy. And the difference is this is a 10 molded tooth and this is a 10 coil. The coil is knitted onto the tape and it's basically just a spring of nylon, something like fishing line that has been sewn onto the tape. And the molded tooth is an individual molded tooth, and these are resin and then they are fitted onto the tape. The 10 millimeter is the part that is across just the teeth. Don't worry about the tape at all. And this is 10 millimeters across the coil. This one's a bit bigger. This is a size 15. So if you look at this closed, it's 15 across the closed teeth. These are used in big sail bags, in orchards, believe it or not, and other miscellaneous places where you need a really big zipper. They're not necessarily any stronger or less strong than a 10 millimeter. It has everything to do with just how easy it opens and closes. And these are a little rough, I think, but if you have a mitten or a glove on and you're trying to open this, this is so much easier than this type of a pull, which is normally what goes on the molded tooth number 10. So we now have 10 molded tooth, 10 coil, 10 molded tooth, 15 molded tooth, 15 molded tooth, metal pull, plastic pull, and then this one is a number 9, so it's 9 millimeters. Open it up a little bit so you can see it. It's a coil. I, myself, prefer this for most bags over the 10. I think this 10 has a tendency to be a little stiff. I really like the malleability of this. So this would look great in maybe a leather bag or a messenger bag. This is a long pull. And you can tell that this is a non-locking because of the way the bridge is made. This is a locking pull, and you can look in that bridge and there's that little piece of metal in there, and it opens and closes onto the teeth so that when you quit pulling it, it stops in place. Usually these are big enough that they will stop automatically. But this gives you a little bit added protection. This is a number 5 molded tooth. So it is 5 millimeters across. Here's a 10, so you can kind of get an idea of the difference in the size of the teeth. And this is a 5 coil, which would be in your jacket. So you can see it's a coil zipper construction. This one happens to be on mesh tape. And it has an auto lock pull. And there's a little tiny spring in there. Fancy pull, which you can kind of see. This would be nice on a lady's fancy jacket. It's very strong. This is nylon. This is nylon. Nicely made. It is a separating zipper. I'm giving you all the dynamics of zippers. So this is a box, and these are pins. And these are pulls. The way you can tell the difference between a molded tooth pull and a coil pull, see how it has these really square shoulders on it? This goes on a molded type zipper. This goes on a coil. These are singles. This is a double. which means that when you put this on the zipper, you have a pull on either side. And the way that you place this on is the wider part of this shoulder, that's called the shoulder right there, goes on the top part of the tape. It just rides right on there. And then this side fits in. I hold it over my finger and I zip it up. And you can see that this would be great in a tent because you can open and close a zipper on both sides. The next thing I'm going to do is show you how easy it is to put a zipper pull on. So I already took this apart. But normally what I do is I always clip one side shorter than the other. And the reason is, let me get a simple one. Okay, I can tell because it's rounded. It's a non-locking. And I'm left-handed, so I'm going to feed it onto the longer side first. And once I have enough I can hold on to this, then I tuck the other side in, and I hold on to it however it works, and it'll mesh, just like that. So make sure that when you cut your zipper for your project, cut it a little longer than you need to, just simply so that you have a little extra to work with. So you just open it up, slide it on the long side first, tuck in the other side, hold it this way, hold it this way. But the main thing is to try to hold both pieces evenly so that you can jiggle it down. It's getting caught on this. I have a tendency to hit this with a lighter. You have to be really careful though, because you can hurt yourself and you can hurt your zipper. So you can also add a zipper to the other side. So I'm just adding this to the other end. Again, long side first, tuck in the short side, pull it down, and then they can meet in the middle, just like that. Now if one side is a little bit off, this one is shorter than this side, this means you just need to take a coil out on one side. So since this is a short side, let's do it on this one. So I'm just going to pull it down just a little bit closer, tuck that on, and test drive it again. Oh, that's perfect. There you go. If for some reason you don't want them to meet in the middle and close like this, say you wanted it to go on the opposite direction, this is the way I do it. Is I cut down one side of the teeth, or the coil, and then I snip into the coil this way. And usually my scissors will do this. I'm going to pull this apart just a little bit. So I'm going to cut the last coil right back where they connect, like that, because I want this connected, and you can push that last little bit in. And then instead of starting from the rounded side of your head like I have before, I'm going to start from the square side, which is the closed side, and I'm going to slide that on, pop it out the top. Then I'm going to pull it down over my coil like that, and I'm just going to gently pull it open. So now, instead of having two head-to-head, I have two, and it's actually called the butt of the zipper pull. So we have fan A to fan A, or it's closed. This is a top stop. It's my favorite. It's the stainless steel top stop. And these are really easily applied over the last tooth. And I put it down in between the coils, or down in between the teeth. And then just simply using my needle nose pliers, I clamp it in place over that last tooth. Let me put it on the molded tooth so you can see it just a little bit better. Just like that. It just goes right over the tooth. on the coil, I can't hold it and talk at the same time. So what I'm going to do is, so that I have a clean place to sew, so I'm going to pop the top stop off. And using a little pair of clippers, I'm just going to clip the teeth off. And then once you get the top of the tooth off, you can usually go sideways. Hear that crack? It means it broke. And you can usually pull that off pretty easily. And I do a couple of those. Then they'll come off the back side, so that I have some place to sew. Like that. Then I put the top stop on, and you want to put one on either side, and you clamp it down this way. Can you see that? So I have my clipper on both sides, and I just clamp it down. And it's easily clamped on either side of that tooth. Now for the 15s, the top stops look like this. They actually fit over the tooth. And you slide it down. See where this has been taken off, the other teeth have been taken off. You slide it down and twist it, and it pops right on. And once they're on, they won't come undone. And that stops the pull from coming off the end. Now, coil zipper works the exact same way as molded tooth to put the pulls on. So I'm going to use the red pull simply so you can see it a little better. This is the shoulder on the side. This is the top of the head. I like to think of this as a keyhole, and I start from the top of the keyhole, and I feed it on the long side. And then I tuck that in, and see how I have the sides uneven? I take this undone out like that, slide it down a little bit, tuck it back in. That looks pretty even. And then all you do is pull it down. That's it. It's really simple. And then from the other side, now I'm going to make you laugh. I'm going to try and put this on right-handed. So I'm going to make this side the long side, and the right side the short side. And I'm going to need lots of room. And you just open it up just a tad, so you've got some working space. Starting from the rounded side, I'm going to feed it on the long side first. Then feed it on the other side. So now I have more on this side, so that means that I need to come down on this. See how I just kind of pulled it back on the pull? So now they're even. Now I'm going to wrap it around my finger and jingle it down until it engages. Then you can just open this up like that. And zip them up head to head, like that. So your bag would open this way. Now if for some reason you wanted it to go the opposite direction, you can't start this side unless your zipper is closed. So I'm simply going to close this like that. And we're going to do the same thing we did with the coil. What I'm going to do is I need to get it down over the teeth. So I'm going to cut it like that. And you can either leave one piece open and longer, or both of them cut off evenly. On the coil, I usually leave one side on. On these guys, I can usually get it on better if I cut them off almost evenly. And obviously you're always going to be off one tooth. And you're just going to slide it over that, and pull the tabs that you made for yourself. There you are. Now then you can put another one on this end. So I'm just going to come down on this long side. Notice I went over those teeth. I kind of pushed it a little bit. Now I'm going to open them up. And now they're fan A to fan A. So that's it. It's really simple to do. And you can too. Now all you have to do is sew it on. I hope that was easy, and we will see you the next time. You can always find me at thezipperlady.com, and we can always iChat if you have problems. Thanks a bunch. Have a great day.